Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk about some more NFL news. Probably be a short little video. There's still a little bit more news I want to get into. Mostly this video is going to be about the Russell Wilson situation. So yeah, kind of a wacky situation. Let's get into it. So, in the first video, we talked about Russell Wilson. The first NFL news, we talked about him. Oh, he was getting benched. He was gonna get. It was reported he's gonna get benched, and it came out he was benched for Jarrett Stidham. Well, we had some more pretty much saga around this news here. So, the hashtag Broncos approached Russell Wilson apparently 2 days after their win over the hashtag Chiefs and told him he would be made inactive for the rest of the season if he did not adjust his contract. Per at Schultz report, the threat apparently shocked him, and the two sides got into a major dispute on how to proceed. Fast forward to now, this day here, December 27, 2023, and Russ has been benched for the rest of the year for the final 2 games. This has just been a wacky situation. Just the Russell Wilson era failed, and even with the games this year, they won because of their defense. He wasn't winning them games, and yes, he's been better than last year, but he hasn't been what you paid him to be. You're not paying Russell Wilson to be an average quarterback. You're paying him to be a really good quarterback. And now the Broncos country, let's ride era is over. And it sounds like he got 2 weeks paid vacation. Well, considering he's probably not going to be there next year. And he's not playing that well, but I'm not going to say he's playing bad. They're preparing to offload him for peanuts, while most likely paying a good chunk of his ring and guarantees. Good lord, that trade was a disaster. I just don't know who's going to take that contract, though. And I guess he isn't their long-term future, and he costs a lot of money. But they shouldn't have gave him a 5-year extension then, if he wasn't going to be their future. Not for that kind of money. He wasn't playing well. The team around him / the defense were playing well. Like, he's playing okay, but his pocket awareness has been horrible, which is very unlike him, honestly. But probably from where he's getting older. His stats were better than last year, but if you actually watch the game, he's not playing well. It's clear at that point he's not the future, and they never even should have paid him that big contract anyways. So the Broncos screwed themselves. The Broncos just screwed Russ, but they did it to themselves, paying him that much money, giving him that big contract. And then now, Broncos Russell Wilson liked this tweet that seemed to confirm the story that the hashtag Broncos are basically forcing him to the bench. The whole thing seems really dirty by Denver. Russell Wilson has been playing bad football, and he makes the NFL a dirty business sometimes. If they really threaten him with being benched to resume his contract, then the Broncos need to be penalized. Pretty cut and dry. Like, yeah, I get he hasn't been playing well, but if he's not the future, then you shouldn't have paid him that big contract. If you're threatening to bench him to restructure his contract, just so he doesn't get injured or whatever. The Broncos really did him dirty, I thought. They kind of made a business decision, but it still seems kind of dirty to fans that the playoffs are possible, and this doesn't make them better. It's not going to provide a spark, in my opinion. So, I don't know. The NFL is a bit dirty business sometimes, man. So, we got all that drama. But now we got this breaking news like 20 minutes ago. And apparently, hashtag Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson expects the team to cut him in March. This is per DM Rossini, and things have escalated very, very fast in Denver. And just like that, I felt like his career's over. The Broncos don't even have a high pick in the draft for a quarterback. I mean, maybe you lose out, it could be in the top 10, but I mean, he's been decent as of late, I guess. And when I say late, I mean the entire season. He's been alright. It just hasn't been great. It's just the contract. And this will take a few years for the Broncos recover from with this trade. Dan Rossini said he's expecting to be cut by the Denver Broncos in March. Per league sources, for almost 2 months, the quarterback has been starting knowing the organization was most likely to move on from after this season. The Broncos reached out to Wilson's representatives in late October and explained that Wilson would lose the starting job and be made inactive for the rest of the season if he did not further the injury guaranteed trigger date that he has for 2025. Per multiple league sources, Wilson has $37 million in injury guarantees for 2025. That will become guaranteed for the 5th day of the 2024 league year in March. Lawyers, including some of the NFLPA, were involved, and no changes were made to the contract. So yeah, there's not much to say. Just, and it was explained that Broncos never told Wilson if he or when they would bench him this season. He just played until he was told this morning he was no longer starting. That's low-key kind of shady. Even if, no matter how you feel about Russell Wilson, that's kind of shady, honestly, from Denver side of things. Because I know they're going to cut him and that era's over, but why even sign him to that 5-year contract if you were going to cut him, like, a few years later? Like, it doesn't make sense. But I think Broncos fans probably want a different quarterback, so most of them will probably be happy. So yeah, it's really all to say about that. So yeah, Purdy report, we're not all that. To a few more things. The hashtag Patriots are placing running back Ramondre Stevenson on season-ending injured reserve. His 2023 season is over. 12 games at 857 total yards, 4 touchdowns, and 4.0 yards per carry. This is a bummer because he's a really talented running back. I like his game because he's probably their best running back they have. But yeah, he's on injured reserve, so yeah, now they're going to have Ezekiel Elliott being their starter in the last few games. Oh boy. So, Deebo Samuel talked about Cam Newton, I believe on the Good Morning Football show or whatever, and he basically was talking about Cam Newton, saying how he's texted or reached out to him, and Cam Newton then said on his Twitter, he says he's never texted or reached out to Deebo Samuel, so the plot thickens. The plot thickens. I don't know if I can believe him, because, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why Cam would lie, though, because I don't know if that benefits him. So, I don't know who to believe. Cam asked for the receipts. If provided, it'll put an end to this whole thing. Unless Deebo can prove that Cam Newton's, like, counterpoints, kind of, I thought were pretty nice. So, yeah. Giants rookie quarterback Tommy DeVito, who'd been pretty bad last 2 games and even got benched. They played a bad game against the Saints. First half of the Eagles got benched and said, and quote, when you're up, everybody loves you. When you're down, everybody hates you. Man, I don't think he's talking like he's a superstar. The media was treating him one for a couple weeks, which all the media does when a rookie quarterback, undrafted or whatever, does good for a few weeks. He was asked a question, he answered it. I mean, he's right. I mean, what more can he say? I mean, he's pretty much right. So, per report, the hashtag Patriots are claiming former Cardinals quarterback Marco Wilson off waivers. Solid depth player. I mean, solid depth player. I'm not going to say it's great, but solid depth. So, despite the win, Eagles star wide receivers A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are frustrated over the team's performances. This is fair. The game should have been a blowout, but self-inflicted wounds by the team kept it close. Something remains off with this Eagles team. So, they may not get another true test against a good team before the playoffs, since they play Arizona and New York again to finish off the regular season. And A.J. Brown declined to be interviewed today during the open locker room and intimated he would later in the week. So they were pretty much all frustrated. It should have been a blowout, but somehow they made it like a 3-point game. Which is freaking crazy. See if there's any more news here. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts has gained a total of 39 yards across all of his 15 rushing touchdowns this season. That's the average of 2.6 yards per touchdown that he is scoring. And just give Cam Newton his record back. Honestly. Because the rushing touchdowns he got is more impressive compared to Jalen Hurts just getting touch pushes. So we have some more injury updates here. Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans on C.J. Stroud's return to practice today. In quote, it was just encouraging to see him. I think it lifts everybody's spirits to see him back doing well and still progressing in the right direction, so happy about that. So it looks like C.J. Stroud is coming back in the Texans' next game. Jaguars said quarterback Trevor Lawrence did not practice today due to his shoulder injury. He's going to play, then some sort of injury will occur during the next game he plays. Just watch. 49ers transactions today, they signed defensive lineman Sebastian Joseph Day and offensive lineman Matt Pryor to 1-year deals. Waived running back Jeremy Nichols. Opened the practice window for wide receiver Danny Gray on the injured reserve list. So some transactions there for San Francisco. T.J. Hawkinson's officially been placed on the Vikings. Officially placed tight end T.J. Hawkinson and offensive outside linebacker D.J. Wonnum on injured reserve. Really tough for them. Really tough for Minnesota, especially with T.J. Hawkinson. He's having a hell of a year, but that's all the NFL really here, unless there's anything from Rappaport. I don't think anything else will be unreported. Our Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa with a thumb/quad is limited at practice after the Ravens game, but he's gonna play 100%. That's the only other injury note. So it's all to say. So check them out. Peace.